Daddy. It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy. Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkin Show. I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkin Show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I am that dude, Bodkins, of course. Welcome back. We hope everybody had a great weekend. I haven't been on air. I was on air. If you missed it last night, check out the guys at Sideline Sports. We did Cub Cadentials. Good time hanging out with those guys. They asked me to come on. We talked little Cubs. So it was pretty fun talking about my Cubs. But enough about that. It feels good to be back on the Bodkin Show again. Folks, this Monday we are launching the new LTS show that I get to be the pleasure of being the host of the most of the show. It'd be produced by the one and only Tanner Dawson of the Sports Buffoons, Bodkins, formerly Bodkins and Buffoon. Show is now completely dead, but we're bringing new format, new show next Monday night. Set your clocks and calendars, folks, for it. The new LTS show. And two gentlemen that will be joining us every Monday and Thursday night and Sunday morning for the LTS show. I don't know what we did wrong, but we're bringing this guy along with us. Mr. First Downs, Sam, thank you for joining us tonight. And you'll be joining us permanently on the new LTS show.
That's right. And you'll get your daughter back when the show starts, okay? All right? I'm going to mention it again.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel like. You must have something on Tanner or Dan to get you on the show.
Yeah,
but
I got photos. Let me tell you.
Some incriminating evidence. Yeah. Sam, how's it going? How you been?
I'm good, Nick. I'm doing just fine. Happy to be on here with you. Happy to talk some NBA playoffs. Happy to talk about some MLB Power Rankings and some football. Yep. Ready to rock. Let's do it.
All right. Sam has been doing his homework. And on this LTS show, Sam, we had to get we wanted to expand and make sure we got, we have the, the Hispanic covered with Johnny Cruz. We got, the South and, hillbillies with you. And we had to get an East Coast, but more importantly, not only just East Coast, we had to get the certain demographics, the elderly demographics to tune in. So we reached out to the best elderly man known, coming live to you from Dansbury, Massachusetts nursing home, the one and only Scott Cope.
Keith is mad at me. I broke the TV after the Celtics game the other night. We have no TV in the room, so.
Let's start there, Scott. I've been meaning to ask you your thoughts on, before we talk about the finals preview here, thoughts on Boston, Miami in that game 7. And should Boston just blow this thing up, and how?
Well, you heard the press conference today with Brad Stevens, who's the team basketball president of operations. They're not blowing it up. They want Jaylen Brown back. They're going to have to pay him super max, which is millions and millions of dollars, which means the surrounding cast is not going to be quite as good, I don't believe. No, you don't blow it. I guess you don't blow it up in the NBA, because if you do, you're starting right back from the bottom again, and that's where the Celtics have been in the past, and it took them, a decade to get back up again. So I don't see them blowing it up. In terms of what they do on the court, it's awful to watch. It just really is. I mean, you're just shooting threes, and if you don't play any defense and you don't have any energy, what happened in Game 7 happens.
At what point in time do you call a timeout and just say, "Hey, y'all, we got to do something different because the three's not falling. Like, no more threes unless you're wide open." At what point in time do you do that? Because, I mean, they were awful in Game 7 and they shot themselves right out of it.
Yeah, when you go 0 for 12 in the first quarter, and in the first quarter, in between the quarters, you got to say to the guys, "Hey, no more threes. We're red lighting." I coached for 30 years, and I told my players when the threes weren't going down, red light, no more threes. And that's what Missoula had to tell them. And he didn't tell them that. And after the game, he said, "We don't have to change anything on offense." Really? 84 points in a Game 7? It's not working. It's not working. They were like 9 for 42. So,
Sam, what was your thoughts on the Game 7 in Boston?
Oh, watching it, man, the pictures of those Celtics fans when the Heat was just going at them, and it was going out with a whimper. That's what I just kept saying. They just went out like a whimper, and Scott's more than likely right. I don't know the Celtics incredibly well, but I was going to ask Scott, do you feel like you can't do anything? Is that going to be satisfy the fans, or are they just going to start calling for heads right away? I mean, if you do absolutely nothing, it's. You got to try to do something. You got to change it up. I feel like after that performance, you got to change it up.
Yeah, I think you do too, number one. And number two is you can't let Jaylen Brown walk out the door. I mean, as bad as he played in Game 7, you just can't let a talent like that walk out the door, because what generally happens, they come back and haunt you, and they make you pay for what you've done. So, he's under contract this year. This is his last year. He's the new rules of the NBA now. If you're all NBA, you get a super max deal, which is he's going to get 5 years and $220-something million somewhere in that neighborhood. So Tatum already is making $40 million. Jaylen Brown's going to be making $40 million. That doesn't give you much room to build around. So they're going to remember what Danny Ainge did with the big three with Garnett and Pierce and Allen. He took some guys off the street. They played for veteran minimum. That's about what you're going to have to do now with Brown and Tatum, is you're going to have to say to guys, hey, look, a guy like Peyton Pritchard, who fell out of favor, it might be back in favor again because of the contractual situation of these guys. So,
I do know
$200 million will buy you a lot of Bodkins bobbleheads. I'm just saying.
I do know. I was listening to Windhurst on PTI the other day, and he was kind of explaining that they pretty much have 2 more years before they really have to, financial wise. Like, they can kind of kick it down this year with Brown, and then kick it down again with Tatum. But after the next 2 years after that, that's when the tougher decisions will hold. We have to also remember Jason Tatum's only 25 years old, folks. Like, he's still really just now about to enter his prime. Same with Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart. And then they've had, really 3 coaches throughout this run. Remember, it started with Brad Stevens. Then it went to Ime Udoka. He gets, fired for really kind of ridiculous. I don't want to say ridiculous reasons, but reasons that under his under the team's control. And then this is the first year with Missoula. I think he had to learn a lot. He definitely got out coached by Eric Spoelstra in this round and in this picks. Does Boston, do they need to add something? What's going to get them to over the hump, Scott?
I don't know what the deal is with Robert Williams and why he's only playing 20 to 25 minutes a game, but you need to get him into the 30-minute range, because he causes havoc on the defensive end. You could play zone in the NBA now. So if you put that guy as a rim protector, you basically can gamble and make any mistake you want, and this guy is going to protect you from easy baskets, number one. Number two, I hate to say it as much as I hate to say it, but Al Horford probably has run his course in Boston. I mean, he's a leader in the locker room. He's all that other thing. But when he struggles, he's really bad on the basketball court. He looks old. He looks slow. He's jacking threes up as much as he can. So they need to bring in a scorer. They need to find another scorer after Derek White, because Derek White is really, really good at scoring the basketball. Marcus Smart's not my cup of tea.
I'm the opposite. I like Marcus Smart. I think he's tough. He's gritty. Just don't ask him to be a point guard.
Absolutely. Defensively, he's a pit bull. He goes after guys. He'll dive to the floor. He'll do whatever he has to do. But if you're asking that guy to jack a 3 in the fourth quarter,
well, as long as it's in the corner, he's okay.
Absolutely. Once he gets up top for the wing, he's not okay. But it's just you kind of need to look at the ancillary pieces and say, okay, which guy can we part with and be okay? And that's the whole thing.
I think they asked Marcus Smart to do too much. I think they need to ask him to be Bruce Bowen. That's would be a perfect comp. Hey, you're going to be our best perimeter defender. Stand in the corner, shoot threes. We're not going to ask you to do anything other than that. I think they get into trouble when they ask him to do a little bit too much. And then Jaylen Brown's got to learn to handle the basketball. I mean, too many times he can't go to his left. He can't dribble to his left. It bounces right off his leg. Like, he's got to get better, especially for a guy that's about to receive a max contract.
And the thing with Smart, going back to Smart, is when he got replaced in the finals last year, he pouted. He did not want to get replaced. When Brogdon got traded to the Celtics, they said, "You're starting." He's like, "Marcus, I'm not starting over Marcus Smart. He's starting." So to me, they had in place that Marcus Smart was going to come off the bench, and Brogdon said, "No, I'm not starting over Smart. I'll come off the bench. He can start." So I don't know what it is, but there's something that Marcus Smart needs to start in his own mind to think he's to build his self-worth and his self-confidence up.
So go ahead, Sam.
The way Scott Cope, this is the first stupid ass comment for me for the night. The way Scott says Marcus Smart, I keep going Shaka Khan in my head. That's the first one of the evening. I got more. I'm sure they'll come up. I agree with you, Scott, by the way.
Some other NBA news before we preview this finals that's kicking off right now. Scott, what's your thoughts on Nick Nurse becoming a 76er? I think James Harden's on his way out. I don't think it's the right. I would not want James Harden on my team. Like, I think they could go get somebody better, but I do like the Nick Nurse hire.
I love it. I love it for Philadelphia because I think he's one of the top 5 to 7 coaches in the NBA. So when you can grab onto a guy like that, you grab onto him. So yeah, I think Harden's going back to Houston. That the rumors that are out there, there's a lot of fire to it. I think once you see the fire, you know it's coming. So, but Nick Nurse will help Embiid cultivate his entire game, not just scoring, but rebounding, defense, and everything else. So,
Sam, you got any thoughts on Nick Nurse?
I don't really have a large sample size of him. Again, I usually watch NBAs during the playoffs, but from everything I've read so far, it seems like a stability kind of force. You know what I mean? And I have a feeling he's going to try to right the ship. And we know how the NBA is. If it doesn't work out in 2 or 3 years, or hell, even 1 sometimes, they'll ship him off and he'll try to stabilize another ship somewhere.
Yeah, I think so. I think Nurse is perfect. Monty Williams got the bag in Detroit as well, like almost $100 million deal. Ooh. Hey, good for Monty because he's probably getting fired in 2 years because that's just what Detroit does. Yeah, was my thoughts. So I was like, hey, good for Monty getting the paycheck, get the cash while you can because they're probably going to fire you in 2 years because they rotate through coaches like Sam does his underwear once every 2 years.
But they're wick. They absorb moisture.
Where is the talent, Detroit? There's nothing there. That's the whole thing. So you're going to throw I read $78 million 5 or 6 years at this guy. He's got nothing. He has the cupboard is bare right now.
Well, they got what's it, Cade Cunningham, and I think he was hurt all year.
Yep. So they did the same thing with Dwayne Casey like four years ago. They threw a ton of money at him. Said, come fix our problem. And he couldn't do it. So they said, all right, we're bumping you upstairs because we like you as a human being. It's going to be the same with Monty Williams in 3 years. They're going to say, okay, we tried you. You're not working out. You could go be assistant GM of basketball operations. It's just not going to work out. So
yeah, I think so. I think you're 100% right. I don't think it's going to work out. Unfortunately for him, and he'll get another job because everybody knows it's a mess in Detroit. Me and Craig I was actually having this conversation. This is a little off topic here real quick, but is there a worse city that they have all 4 major sports and their teams absolutely stink than Detroit? Like, you look at the last 10 years of Detroit basketball, awful. The Tigers, absolutely dog shit. The Lions, this is the best year they've had, and we think on paper, right? Like, but the last 5-6 years they've been awful. The Red Wings, I mean, the last 10 years, they've been awful. Is there a worse city that has all major sports like that absolutely stinks up the joint the last better half of a decade?
Boston will this year, right?
But at least with Boston, we made the playoffs and we did something. One of our teams did something. But yeah, and what are they doing? What's the NFL doing next year? You get the draft next year. So now the draft is going there next year because you guys suck as a town. So I agree with you, Nick. I can't figure out a worse.
My only thing was maybe Cleveland, but I mean the Cavs have had decent run, obviously with LeBron. So to me, I think it's got to be Detroit.
I would until this year throw Arizona in as a possibility too, because the Cardinals have been terrible. The hockey team, the Coyotes, have been terrible.
But the Suns have been pretty good.
The Suns have been pretty good. Yeah, that's the only team. But yeah, Detroit is the worst professional sports team in America right now, I think. So
sorry, Detroit. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Don't mean to insult you.
Let's go ahead and get to the NBA. Actually, Scott, how's everybody in Boston doing? I mean, is the mood in Boston just crappy right now? The Bruins got swept in the first round. The Celtics come all the way back trying to make history, and then they absolutely stunk up the joint in Game 7. So before we talk about what's the culture like in Boston? Is everybody on suicide watch?
As long as we don't play 8 seeds out of Florida, we're fine. If we play 8 seeds out of Florida, we're in trouble. So it was the first day or two out of the Celtics game was terrible. But I think it's starting to come around again because now we don't have the Red Sox to look forward to because they're playing awful right now. So we're just waiting for the Patriots. And I don't know if I want to wait for the Patriots either. So
do you want to wait for the Patriots in a division with Josh Allen, Tyreek Hill, and all the? I mean,
Aaron Rodgers.
I've already reconciled. We're going to be 4th place. Johnny's like, oh no, don't. Johnny Cruz is like, oh no. You guys might finish there.
Tell me, because Johnny's nice. He wants to be.
Johnny's out there telling me I had a great draft. Like, shut up. No. I love you, Johnny.
No, but Twitter the first day after was just all about how bad the Celtics were and stuff like that. And you got to realize they were down 3-0, and they came back and got to Game 7. So
yeah, I mean, it's no team really, especially in the playoffs. You can't. There's a reason no team's done it 4 games in a row like that. Right. Like don't. It just doesn't happen very often in the NBA. Like, I mean, it's never happened. Not even really like a lot of teams lose 4 games in a row during the regular season like that, much less, 4 in a row to the same team. So, when another team's already won 3-0. So it is tough. Sam, you had some breaking news on this NBA Finals already. Go ahead and pump that out.
Our America and Canada's favorite rapper by the name of Drake has bet $1.25 million.
Scott, do you know who Drake is, first of all, before we break that down? I mean, do you know who Drake is? I do know who
Drake is.
Isn't that a dragon?
Are you familiar with any of Drake's work? Can you name me a Drake song, Scott? What's your favorite Drake?
I can't name you a Drake song, but I know he's still the greatest hip-hop rap expert.
Call you on a cell phone.
Yeah. I mean, that's, not familiar with any of his work, though.
No, but I know who he is. He's rapped his games. He's as annoying as any other fan in the world. So
we'll give you that, Scott. If you're a hip hop fan, I would recommend Drake's old stuff, Over, Forever, All Me, and some of his early stuff, really good.
Is that the new soundtrack for the new show? Is Drake? Is that who we're putting on as the soundtrack?
I don't know. No,
it's
we'll probably get stricken down.
It's Michael Bolton. It's Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton. Great.
Live without you.
Great.
I thought it was Creed or Nickelback.
Can you take me home?
So if you bet $1.25 million on the Nuggets, you're only going to get back like $950,000.
Oh yeah, they're like plus 1,600.
They're huge favorites. The best way to attack it is how many games you think the series is going. That's the best way to attack
What's your thoughts there, Scott? Are you all in on the Nuggets and how many games?
Yeah, Nuggets in 5. I'm all in on them. I don't know how Miami can stop Jokic and Murray, so to speak. So
Jokic
Denver's just a complete team this year. They just really are.
And we gave them to be credit. Me and you were on our NBA preview show. We gave them 0 credit coming into this, especially you, Scott. You poo-pooed them pretty bad. apologize to Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray and those guys.
I'll fly to Denver tomorrow and apologize to them. No,
you will throw yourself at his feet.
Yeah,
and you will beg for forgiveness.
His brothers are going to hunt you down, Scott, and beat you up.
Don't even look at him.
Michael Malone, the head coach, is coming after me big. But in the hoop, we didn't give him any credit either. We didn't think they were going to make it. We thought it was going to be the Lakers or the Warriors again. We didn't think it was going to be the Nuggets. We thought they would run out of gas in the second round. But, surprise or not surprised, they're here now, and they're the complete team. So,
Sam, what's your thoughts here on the NBA Finals so far?
Oh, I think it's the Nuggets all the way. I doubted them. I also need to, Scott, I'll catch a joining flight and go to Colorado with you because I had them getting like they won that first game. I was like, it won't be no repeat.
You said the Lakers in 5.
Yeah, I know. You went after Scott there. I was like, ha.
I forgot about your stupidity, but we're used to you saying dumb things coming out of your mouth.
Right? So. Yeah. All you hear when I talk is dude. But yeah, no, they are the complete team in like any of the playoffs in any of the major sports, right? So when you get hot, and he's got that Dirk Nowitzki energy going on, and he is going to be dangerous, and I expect them to handedly beat the Miami Heat. Miami might take a 1 or 2 games, but I think it's all Nuggets, baby. All Nuggets.
Yeah,
I think they have the ultimate home court advantage. The altitude. That's all you need.
Alan agrees with you guys. He's got Nuggets in 6, he says. So there's the Alan Perales curse right there on the Nuggets. So, I'm going to switch my pick to the Heat. With that being said, no. I mean, Craig's saying it here too. Their road to the finals, or maybe to a ship is they beat an 8 seed, a 4 seed, a 7 seed, and then if they beat the Heat, would be another 8 seed. But I mean, let's not. I mean, that 4 seed is Kevin Durant and, Booker and the Suns. That 7 seed was LeBron James and the Lakers. So, and they handled them. I mean, for the most part. I do think the Nuggets are the complete team. And if I was a betting man, I would probably put my money in Nuggets in 6. But I am rooting for Jimmy Butler and this Heat team. They are everything that you want in a basketball team. They're gritty. They're tough. Jimmy's not one of these so-called like superstars to me. Like, I think he's still underrated by the media, and, he's not all NBA. He's not, he's an all-star caliber player night in, night out. But I mean, they just give you everything that you want every night, and they pass the ball well. They look for each other. And then in the fourth quarter, it doesn't matter. We saw it in game 6, Jimmy struggling all night. And in the game 6, 2 minutes ago, it just something clicks in his freaking brain. The Michael Jeffrey Jordan DNA that he has inside of him starts going, and he can take over. And I think it could be like that. At least that's why I give Denver 6 games, because I think Jimmy could get them 2. This guy can do it. I'm rooting for the Heat. I hope the Heat win, but I would put my money on the Nuggets in 6 here.
I think my personal opinion is you can't name on one hand more clutch players in the NBA than Jimmy Butler, and he gets no pub at all.
Exactly.
0. He's the total leader of that team. He does not mind deferring to other guys on the team. Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero might be back. Bam. He doesn't mind doing that stuff. And to me, that's a complete leader of your team when you don't mind and you would rather see the other guy have more success than you. So Jimmy Butler to me is a top 10 NBA player.
He is, but he doesn't get the pub that that everybody else gets. I mean, Anthony Davis gets more pub than Jimmy Butler, and I would take Jimmy Butler every day of the week and 18 times on Sunday when it's a game 7. So like I trust him. I followed Jimmy's career because he was drafted by the Bulls, so I followed his whole career. He is, Kenny's saying he's right here. He's the dog of all dogs. Like, if Jimmy Butler definitely, he needs to put this mask on right here because he is the dog of all dogs. But, but it is a tough mountain to climb. And Jokic is absolutely a stud too. Like,
oh, he is.
I think the common fan's going to learn a lot about Nikola Jokic. Like, he's so good. He is. I mean, what's not to like? I like him too. I mean, he's 7 foot. He's fat. He's slow. He's white. That's right up my alley. You're speaking my language.
He gives me hope.
Yes. I'm just not 7 foot. So, but other than that, I mean, he's so good and he passes the ball really well. I don't know how they're going to guard him. To me, I just say, hey, we're going to let everybody else we're going to let him get his, and then we're going to try to stop everybody else. We're not going to double team him. Bam, you're going to guard him the best you can. If he goes for 50, he goes for 50. But what we can't let happen is let Jamal Murray go for 30. We can't let Michael Porter Jr. go for 15. Bruce Brown go for another 15. Like, we can't let that happen.
Tall order. That is very tall.
Yeah, and the thing is, I looked at the box score before I came in pre-show. Jokic had 2 points. Aaron Gordon had 12. Jamal Murray had 7. Kenneth with the lovely
wedding photo. That's a joint Facebook account.
No, it's not. It's not. Big clumsy white dude. He's my hero, is what Kenny says. Exactly.
Yeah, it's just okay. Slow Jokic down. Murray's going to get 30. Gordon's going to get 25. You just can't. Denver's got so many weapons on the court right now that who are you going to stop if it's not Jokic?
I do like the Heat. I mean, they are on something here. It seems like every night, other than Jimmy, it's somebody else. It was Strus. It's Vincent. They've got some guys that can shoot. But one thing, they just play as a team, and I think that's that's with the ultimate disrespect slap to Sam Flanius Flaffle, a guy on TikTok. You got to look like him, Sam,
Yeah. Hey, go drink another one, Cal. All right? Take it easy.
We're getting big guests these days, Kale. That's what's happening.
I'm going to go tie a woman to a railroad track.
I do think it's a tough order, but I got Denver in 6 here.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be 5. The Lakers, if you remember, the Lakers threw everything at Denver, and Denver survived it. I just don't see
LeBron flopped as hard as he could.
He did. He did. And the Lakers, give him full credit. They did everything they could. They kept a couple of those games close. I just don't see what Miami's going to have to shoot 70% from 3-point range to win a game, I think. And that's just unheard of to do. So,
Finals MVP, Scott.
It's got to be Jokic. It's got to be Jokic.
Jokic as well.
Yeah, I think so too. My little brother Italy Jet says sub Bodkins back from the beach and still looks the same. So I appreciate it.
Oh my God.
Johnny Cruz is out here saying he's got Denver in 6. So, but he'd like to see Jimmy win. So.
All right. Well, you're not on the show to talk about it. So, okay.
Kale says Denver in 5. I think that's the consensus, but that's what drives Miami, though. I mean, nobody gave them any chance to beat the Bucks. No. I did say they could beat the Knicks. I had that one right, and I don't think very many people had them beating Boston. And here we are; they're in the final. So I am rooting for the Heat, but I do think that's the Nuggets, and I do think it's probably Jokic is probably going to be MVP.
Boy, when the Celtics started stacking those wins and coming back, though, I was sitting there like, "Oh, the Heat are going to be sick. They're going to be absolutely sick."
I knew Jimmy wouldn't let that happen.
Okay, all right, Nick. Jeez, all right,
I just knew it.
You text him and say you ain't gonna let that happen, are you, bro?
The thing about Jimmy Butler is, if you listen to him post game, he's as calm as anybody. He says the same things. We're going to have beers. We're going to drink wine. We're going to do whatever, and we're going to forget about the game. Come back tomorrow and play again.
We're going to drink beer and listen to Luke Combs is what Jimmy Butler's going to say. So
we're going to listen to Drake.
You got a fast car.
Yeah. Kenny says Jimmy got a bunch of undrafted dudes, and Joker got a lot of lottery picks as role players, and that's true.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Yep, I do.
Kale says if Butler stays hot, it might go 6. He thinks if Hero comes back, which it looks like he might be back later in the series, could go 7. So I think it's Nuggets in 6, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Scott, how surprised would you be, if, give me a percentage, how surprised you'd be if the Heat pulled this thing off? And if the Heat pull it off, Is this the greatest finals run in NBA history? You've been alive for all 75 years.
Did they ride dinosaurs back then?
If you remember, Miami lost to Atlanta in the first play-in game and had to come back from 10 points down against Chicago to win. So it would be the greatest run that any playoff team has ever gone on to win.
Greater than Dirk in that run that he went on.
Yeah, because Dirk had talent. I mean, the thing about Miami is they got Butler, they got Bam, but nobody knew about Caleb Martin before the playoffs started. Nobody knew about Gabe Vincent. Nobody knew about these guys. And then Tyler Hero goes down. Everybody's saying, "Oh, that's it for Miami. They're done." Well, Jimmy Butler willed them to get where they are right now, and Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin shot lights out of the ball. So, to me, it would be the greatest because of that simple fact that there's a lot of undrafted guys. This guy Highsmith or Neesmith, whoever he gives them some energy when he comes in the game too. He's undrafted as well. So. There's not a LeBron there. There's not a Dwayne Wade there. There's not a Shaq there. There's not Kevin Garnett, all those guys. There's just a lot of guys that just love to play basketball.
Amen to that. Let's get in some NFL news before we get into our MLB Power Rankings. I haven't been on the air since DHop was cut by the Cardinals. Scott, actually, Sam, we'll start with you. You surprised DHop cut? I was surprised they couldn't find a trade partner.
I thought they would try to get what they could for him in trade. Didn't happen, and I was shocked. And I wonder if they just did him a favor by letting him walk or whatnot. And the rumor about town, the scuttlebutt on the interwebs, is that the Texans and him might have a reunion, which would be really interesting. I would be very upset since they are in my division, and that's all I need to CJ Stroud to get confidence watching DHop catch every single thing. I hope he gets busted for PEDs again.
Scott, what's your thoughts there on DHop getting cut? So my feeling is they tried to trade him at the draft. Anybody that came up, they had to take DHop. When that
rumor has it was with us too. That was the rumor.
Yeah. That was any team that tried to trade with him. They said you have to take DHop, and every team said no until Arizona decided. We just got to trade the pick. We don't want it. We got to trade it. I think this was the likely conclusion based off of that. Where he goes is anybody's guess right now. I heard the same talk as Mr. First Down did today that Houston could be a possibility. Kansas City, Cleveland. They're talking to Sean Watson and Hopkins talk every day.
So I've heard Baltimore. I mean, he listed out a bunch of teams. I think Baltimore was one. He said, Lamar. I think he even said Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, in Buffalo, Patty Mahomes. Cleveland. I've heard. I don't see a Houston reunion just because of where they're at in the rebuild. I just don't. If I'm DHop, you've proved everything in this game that you can prove. It's time to go play for a winner. And try to catch a Super Bowl. I was a little surprised. I said, man, if he went to the Jets and you had him, Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard's going to miss. What Bob Saleh doesn't know is Allen Lazard's going to miss 4 to 6 games. So he said they're good at their receiver core. But, Allen's going to be out 4 to 6 games. I know they brought in 80-year-old Randall Cobb. But, I mean, you give Aaron Rodgers, DHop, Garrett Wilson, and the rest of that crew, why not? Figure it out. And I would bring him in if I'm the Jets. I mean, if the Bills and you line him up with Diggs, then you can move Davis back to the slot and be that third weapon. That's incredible. The Chiefs, it's just a cheat code again because you already have Travis Kelce. And that, to me, DHop is better than, Tyreek Hill. So, how much does that improve them? So it's –
If he's coming to the AFC, other than Houston, whichever team he goes to will swing the power of the AFC into their favor. If the Jets are already all in, they should even go even more all in.
It won't be Buffalo. According to Tim Graham, reputable reporter, says they simply do not have the salary cap room.
That's bullshit.
Salary cap is junk. It's complete junk.
Just reading the story, guys. Jeez.
Hey, we're just telling you, don't buy into the. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, Sam.
You can't stop me.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
I'm buying it.
No, because they could structure the contract in such a way that he gets the veteran minimum and he gets incentives and a signing bonus.
I'm with you. I was just trying to add to the story, guys.
Hey, Johnny says, stop trying to put that shit in the universe. So,
don't you put that evil on us.
I think there's 3 realistic teams right now: Buffalo, Kansas City, and Cleveland, because of the Deshaun Watson.
I think it's Cleveland.
I think Baltimore. Watch out for Baltimore. Him, OBJ. They're all in on trying to get Lamar weapons. So why not? Don't shush me. And I think it could be. I could be Baltimore. And we're all naming these in AFC teams. And Craig says, DHop's going to the AFC somewhere.
Yeah.
If I'm DHop, and I know the NFC is so weak right now, but why wouldn't you want to stay in the NFC? Because he goes to any NFC team. Scott, you just said that would sway the power. DHop goes to, I don't know, Dallas. Maybe he goes to Minnesota. I don't know. Like, they're strapped for cap way worse. But
did you guys hear that? You said Dallas. I'm pretty sure Allen had a heart attack in the
chat. He goes to an NFC team. That sways the power even more, I think, on the NFC if he goes to the right team.
The team that hasn't been talked about that would definitely sway them into the Super Bowl favorite in the NFC would be San Francisco. If he ever signed with San Francisco, you got Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, and Hopkins, and McCaffrey in the backfield. Oh my God! How are you stopping that? How are you stopping that? So that if I'm San Francisco, I'm making a call to his agent and him and saying, "What's it going to take to get you here?"
And good old Sam Darnold throwing him the passes, right?
Oh, I know.
Him or Brock Purdy. Scott, what's this do for fantasy purposes? You're Mr. Fantasy Guru yourself here. What's it do for DHop? Right now it says like ADP, ECR, and then would it even rank go depending on a couple of these spots? Where would it go up?
His average draft position right now is probably 5th round. If he went to Kansas City, Buffalo, if he went to a team that has a really good quarterback, Buffalo, Kansas City, Cleveland, it would shoot it up to late 3rd, early 4th. People just, as soon as news comes out like this, they just, D-Hop's in Buffalo? Oh, he's going to go off. Well, you forget there's Stephon Diggs there, there's Gabe Davis.
Well, I think Diggs' stock would go down at that point in time.
It would. Diggs would go into the 2nd round, and D-Hop would shoot up like a rocket. If he goes with Mahomes, oh my God, he's going 2nd, 3rd round easily, I think. So, to me, it depends on the quarterback he goes with. If he goes with Brock Purdy in San Francisco, I don't think it's going up as nearly as much as it would with Allen, Mahomes, or Watson. So,
I just don't see the Texans reunion. I don't know. I just don't. Why go to play with CJ Stroud? He says he wants to play for a winner. It's time to play for a winner. Then go where you can win. I could see a Deshaun Watson reunion. They would have him, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore. At that point in time, you got a pretty good set for Deshaun there, and that would probably make our guy Bobby G, pretty happy.
He says all this stuff. Let's see where he really signs. If he signs in, say, Houston, just use that for an example, then it's all about the money. It's not about
the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
That's what I'm saying. If he goes to San Francisco, it's about winning. If he goes to Houston, it's about money. So,
hey, let's jump into our power rankings here. Scott, we'll start with you. We're going to go 10 to 1 in our MLB Power Rankings. This is our 3rd month. I think you were on the 1st month we did this?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, so I thought so. So our first, go ahead and give me your 10. This is, again, it's teams that, can be playing right now or, playing great right now or in the future as well. I did a little bit of both. So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Number 10 is the Angels for me. I just think that they're playing a really good brand of baseball right now. Don't forget, Shohei's a free agent at the end of this year, so they got to keep playing really, really well to keep him if they have any chance to keep him. They're in 3rd place in the AL West right now. That's going to be ultra competitive division, so I think they can keep themselves above water. And if Shohei, who's been struggling on the mound, if he starts pitching really well right now, and for the rest of the season, the Angels could be a wild card in the American League. So the Angels are number 10 for me.
Sam, who you got at number 10?
Number 10, let's see if I can open my Word document. Number 10, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks. They had a great road trip, and I just feel like they're either they need to heat up now or they need to just stand aside. So it's either get hot now or don't. That's how I see it.
I got them on the list, but I got them a little way higher. I'm with you, Scott. I got the Angels at 10 at 30-27. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Run differential of plus 12. So I'm right there with you.
Ask me next week. I'll change.
At 10. A brief moment at the end of the first quarter, Nuggets up 17. So that's
there you go. There you go.
See, John Schurer said, "Go Heat." Look at him. Like a damn fool.
I thought when I saw that comment that the Heat were down by like 6 or something at the end of the first, I was like,
no, I just got the update. They're down 17. Yeah. Scott, who you got at 9?
I have the Dodgers. I've been saying all along that I feel like there's something missing with them. I think I'm onto it now. Their pitching is really in trouble here. There's too many injured.
Ford is done. Syndergaard's done.
Yeah, they brought up 2 guys from the minors that they've started in the last 10 days. Who knows how they're going to do. Their offense is hit and miss right now. Some days they'll score 11 runs. Other days they'll score 2.
Again, I got them a little higher on my list, but
yeah, it's just there's just something about them that, in my mind, won't lead them to making a long playoff run. So, Dodgers are 9 for me.
Sam, who you got at 9?
Los Angeles Angels. That's what I have. They just had some strong showings recently, and I feel like even though they're not getting good play from Mike Trout or Ohtani, I see that they're firmly in like the playoff mix and I think they're gonna continue to grow. Maybe not like a rapid pace, but I think they're just gonna make the playoffs. Get in.
Allen's on the ground right now. He's collapsing. He's afraid.
At number 9, I got the New York. I got the New York Yankees. 34-24, 6-4 in their last 10. They are third in the East right now, but that division's been up and down outside of the Rays for the most part. But I got the Yankees at 9. Sam, who you got at 8?
I got the Boston Red Sox at 8. Even though I think they're going to drop firmly here soon. I did it for you, Scott. I wanted you to feel better.
They're not even in my top 10.
They need to handle the Cincinnati Reds, mainly because all my in-laws are Cincinnati Reds fans. So I need them to handle that.
That's not happening.
Not only are they Reds fans, they're related to you. So those poor souls. So
no, not only by marriage. I took their daughter away. I told her I was rich. I just drove a Nissan Stanza to keep me humble. Yeah.
Scott, who you got at 8 here?
I got the Mets. And when you look at the Mets, struggled early out of the gate. Now they're starting to play a lot better than they were in the past. So I think with Pete Alonso and if Lindor can keep hitting, and I think if Scherzer or Verlander can have that one more renaissance run in them at 40 years old, I think the Mets could be a very dangerous team come playoff time. So I got the Mets at 8.
I'm right there with you, Scott. Did you copy my homework or something? Because I got the Mets at 8 as well. 30-27. Scott, you mentioned it. They're healthy right now. That's the key. Can Scherzer and Verlander stay healthy? That's a big if because they've always been kind of in and out a lot of times. And we're talking about 2 40-year-olds with a lot of miles on those arms. I do got the Mets. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Their run differential was horrific at the beginning of the season. It's now -6. So I'm with you. I got the Mets at 8. Scott, give me number 7.
I got the Yankees at 7. I think the Yankees are starting to hit their stride now. Stanton is coming back this weekend against the Dodgers. Rodon is going to throw a minor league rehab assignment. Donaldson's coming. So they're getting healthy. And a healthy New York Yankees team, and teams keep pitching to Aaron Judge, and why the heck would you pitch?
He's got the same amount of homers right now as he did this time last year.
Yeah. So, to me, if Stanton comes back and he's anywhere near where he was at the beginning of the year, Yankees could be a very dangerous team for the Rays to try to win the East with. So I got the Yankees at 7.
I also have the Yankees at 7, a lot for the same reasons. Guys are coming back. I think they're going to start their push. Go ahead. And basically all the same reasons Scott had. You must have copied my homework too, Nick. Very unprofessional, Scott.
I'm sorry.
Get your act together.
At number 7, I got the Atlanta Braves. I've had them higher on my list the last 2 months. They were 1 and 2 there for a while, but this month they haven't been as good. They're 4 and 6 in their last 10. They're falling back a little bit. I have them at 7 right now. Again, I base my power rankings on kind of what's going on right now in this past month, and the Braves have struggled, folks. They are getting Max Fried is out, but he's supposed to be coming back. They did get one of their pitchers back. I can't think of his name. He had been out for about a year, so Soroka, yeah, he's back. So hopefully that'll turn it around. But the Braves have been struggling. So I got them at 7. Sam, who you got at 6 here?
Hold on, my Soroka. That was for you. I'm just practicing for the big show, so people can just get more annoyed with me. Number 6, I have the Baltimore Orioles. They're starting to get these. They're starting to stack these wins over the Rays, the Pirates, the Angels, Blue Jays, and Yankees. I just think they're good. I think they're a solid team, and I think they're gonna just continue to climb, unless they don't.
Good analysis right there. That's why we're never good.
Let me just keep drinking, okay? Orioles. I didn't know Cookie had a team named after him, the Oreos.
Who you got at 6, Scott?
I got Arizona. Jonathan Grishman, who's on Monday nights with us and on the baseball show, has bought into Arizona from day one. I didn't buy into them, and now I'm buying into them. They're a very young team with Zach Gallen as their stud pitcher, their Cy Young Award winner most likely, and their offense is young and potent and talented. And I think Arizona could overtake the Dodgers. The Padres right now are shadowing themselves. They're awful. Yeah. So to me,
it might be the biggest disappointment in all of baseball right now.
Yeah. Yep. So to me, Arizona's competition is the Dodgers. And as I said before, the Dodgers are starting to struggle a little bit here. And I think Arizona can overtake them and win the division. So I got Arizona at 6.
At 6, I have your reigning defending World Series champions. The Just Fans boys will like that. I have the Houston Astros. I got them at 6. I'm looking at the Astros. Hold on. Oh, there they are. 32 and 23. The run differential is plus 49. They're 6 and 4 in their last 10. So I put them at number 6. Sam, we're breaking into the top 5. Who you got at 5?
I have the Astros at 5. Their pitching still stinks, but they seem to keep finding ways to win the game. Perhaps they're cheating again. Who knows?
They could be banging them trash cans.
They could be banging them trash cans, boy. Sorry, Houston boys. You know I love you. I was on their show the other day. Corbin Carroll, Roy Kennedy. Yeah, I think so. Why not?
Scott, what's your thoughts? Who you got at 6 here?
I'm with Mr. First Down. I have Houston, and I just think that
boy, Scott.
Well, you got 5. I mean, this is 5. You got Houston at 5.
5. Yeah.
Okay.
There's the two pitchers they have at top of their staff anchor their staff very well, in Javier and Valdez. I think their offense is solid enough to stay in the race here with Texas. I'm kind of surprised they haven't overtaken Texas yet because of Altuve back. But I think Houston and Texas are going to battle for the AL West all year long. So I got Houston at 5 right now.
I got the Dodgers at 5. I just think that they can still win that division. They're in second place right now. Run differentials, they got the highest run differential in that division at plus 57. 5 and 5 in their last 10. So I got the Dodgers sitting at 5. Scott, who you got at 4?
I got Atlanta at 4.
I also have Atlanta at 4.
Yeah, I just think that this Max Fried injury has slowed them down a little bit. I know Soroka just came back. I know they have some young guys in the rotation right now.
But
They'll be fine. I agree with what Kale said. They'll be fine. Mm-hmm. But right now, losing 2 or 3 in Oakland gives me a little bit of pause.
That's why they can't. That's why I can't put them in the top 5.
Yeah,
to the worst team in baseball.
Something's missing with them right now.
It's
and
pitching.
If Fried comes back, Fried will probably rectify that. But it's going to take them 3 or 4 starts to get back to the Fried of old. Their offense they didn't do a ton of in Oakland. 4 runs, 2 runs, and 1 run, I think. So to me, that's a little pause for me too, is that their offense just is not hitting like it should be. So I got number 4. I got the O's, 35 and 21. Yep. Plus 28 run differential, 5 and 5 in their last 10. They've been playing really well. Adley Rushman's an absolute stud. So I have the O's at 4. And Scott, who you got at 3 here? I got the O's at 3. I think I agree with you, Nick, on all accounts. I think their pitching is very underrated. I think that they have a lot of guys that you've never heard of before. Dean Kramer, Kyle Gibson you've heard of before, but he hasn't really been a number 1 pitcher. I think their offense is carrying them right now. And I think that if their pitching catches up to them, I think this Baltimore could they're within shooting range of Tampa Bay right now. So I think they could possibly take over that East. So I got Baltimore 3.
Who you got at 3 there, Sam?
Hold on. I'm on the wrong page.
Do you know how to read left to right?
We just got shoes down here, okay? It's a big deal. Okay. Number 3, I have the Tampa Bay Rays. The first team to reach 40 wins. That's beautiful. Yeah. I just feel like they just lost one of their best players to season-ending injury. I could change my mind later. As for right now, though, the first team to reach 40 wins, I think that's pretty impressive.
Well, yeah, that's why they're number 1 instead of number 3.
They're not number 1.
Okay, well, it'll be interesting to see what Sam's got a huge shakeup here in his.
I'm shaking things up.
My number 3 team is the Diamondbacks, 34 and 23. They're the hottest team in baseball. They've won 5 in a row, 7 and 3 in their last 10. I mean, they're like you Scott, you alluded to their pitching staff. They got a good young stud. Their lineup's pretty solid. When you're the hottest team in baseball, 5 wins in a row, 7 and 3 your last 10, like you'll take that. So entering their first, I think this is the first time. I try to look back at my other notes here. I think it's the first time they've made the Bodkins Power Rankings. So give it up for the Diamondbacks.
Do you trust them though? Do you trust them to keep, to stay there?
It's not about the future. It's kind of about right now.
Okay. All right. Well,
here's what I'll say about the Diamondbacks.
Faces here.
Okay. Geez, God.
Jonathan Grisham, I will listen to 1,000 times a day. And he has been on Arizona from day one.
He has, yep.
And so he knows his baseball because he played baseball, stuff like that. So if he's on them, it's good enough for me. So
okay, I'm sorry I put them at number 10.
What crazy team do you got at 2 if you got the Diamondbacks at 3?
The Saskatchewan Roughriders. No, I'm just kidding. It's just fun. At number 2, I have the Texas Rangers. And I'll explain why they're not number 1 in my next when we talk about our number 1 picks. But hey, I mean they're the team to beat, right? The AL West, they are just taking it outright, and I just feel like they're kind of a team of destiny. But I think the last team I'm going to mention is going to win it all for 3 reasons that we'll discuss when we get there.
Okay, Scott, who you got at 2?
I'm with him. I got Texas at 2. I think their pitching has been really good without Jacob deGrom. They have a good young offense. The offense is like Arizona's very young, but it's better. So
Alan Big Mad in comments, y'all.
So I think that the Rangers can sustain this. They've thwarted the challenge of the Astros so far. I think they could sustain this the whole year, and I think they could be in it for the rest of the year. So Texas at 2 for me.
Yeah, I have the Rangers at 2 as well.
Look at it. That's a triple right there. We got it.
I think so. We're all in agreement that the Rangers at 2. I was trying to find this.
You're like me You're like me with the Word documents on my phone. I'm like, okay, who did I put here and why?
Yeah, no, I knew why I put him there, but I was trying to find this cool stat, and I should have looked for it earlier. And now I ran it across it earlier today, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't realize that. But anyway, the Rangers pitching staff has been absolutely killer. Like their top 4 starters are ERAs, really low. They've been going deep into games. They obviously have. I think DeGrom's even still hurt right now. So
yeah, he is. He's not back.
He is hurt.
And he'll be coming back as well. That team. I mean, could this team? That team could probably win the whole. Here we go. Oh wait, nope. No, that was something.
Put away your tasteful nudes.
I should have. Next time I need to start saving stuff for interesting, but on my photos. But anyway, oh well. I was trying to find this stat that I read, and I don't know who posted it. Some website I follow, but
I'll just do what you do to me when I posted something. That's bullshit. It's stupid. How dare you say that?
We did not say it was stupid. I said don't drink the Kool-Aid.
What if it's
I do got the Rangers at 2. Scott, I think we probably got the same number 1 team. Go ahead and let it be known.
It's Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay get off to a great start, and now they're stabilizing. I think they'll come back around again. I just think that, they're going through – all they have to do is play 500 until the All-Star break, and that's what they're doing. So they just lost 2 or 3 to the Cubs in a well-pitched series for both teams.
We should have swept them, by the way. We should have swept them.
Yeah, I agree. So I just think that Tampa will get back home where they're a dominant team at Tropicana Field. And I think they'll start stringing some wins together. They got to play the AL East, who is very difficult. But I think Tampa Bay's got enough to be the American League favorite right now.
Yeah, one thing on the Rangers, their run differential is the highest in all of baseball at 131. So plus 131. So the next highest is the Rays at 119. So those, that's why the Rays are my number 1 and Rangers 2. Sam, who do you got as your number 1 team? If you say the Guardians, I'm going to go ahead and delete you off of here.
It must be the Minnesota Twins then, if number 1.
No, the Los Angeles Dodgers are number 1. And the 3 reasons why are Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, and Mookie Betts. Okay? All right.
Are you just naming baseball players that you know?
Yeah. Pretty much. No, I mean, look, they've really turned it around there for the Dodgers. I think they're going to be a powerhouse this week. We're doing this right now as far as that was the criteria we talked about in messages. So I think right now they're sitting at number 1 just for the great pitching. All 3 of those players, they're turning the whole thing around. And I think that's good enough to make them number 1. That's how I feel.
All right, so we got some comments in here.
I'm very mature.
Alan says DeGrom just went on rehab assignment and was talking about my Cubs. Kale, I know the Cubs couldn't sweep the floor. They stink right now. You don't have to tell me. Our bullpen is a fucking atrocious.
Yeah, but here's my question with DeGrom. He'll pitch twice and then he'll get hurt again.
Yeah.
So
Johnny couldn't make the show, but he did want to put out his power rankings.
Oh, but he's got his opinion on it, of course.
He just wanted to get us on record. So he's got Rays at 1, O's at 2, Rangers 3, Braves 4, Dodgers 5, Astros 6, Yankees 7, Mets 8, Diamondbacks 9, Angels 10. So
I would read it from backwards. What is he smoking to have Angels number 1?
Oh boy. Kale throwing some fire. He hurt me earlier. Now he said your Cubs couldn't sweep the floor.
I said that already. Listen,
yeah,
Jesus. Alan says so. Alan wanted to get his in here as well. He's got Blue Jays at 10, Angels 9, Yankees 8. Oh shit! I took it off of there.
You're so good at this job.
I know. Cool. Yankees at 8, Diamondbacks 7, Astros 6, 5 Dodgers, 4 Braves, 3 O's, 2 Rangers, 1 Rays. So
who does he get the Guardians? Because that was his American League favorite.
Oh, gee whiz. I have them at 29. Like, no way. They're bad. Yeah, they're bad. I thought Francona was
the whole Midwest. If you're playing in the AL Central and NL Central, you absolutely stink. So there's
burn on, Big River, burn on.
All right, let me share the screen here real quick.
Tasteful nudes.
All right. So it is our favorite segment of the week, and we're doing, for some reason, I don't know why, but we're going to do Bruce Willis movies. I feel like Bruce Willis is about to die or he can't act anymore. So we are going to do Bruce Willis movies. You can only pick, is it up there on the screen? You guys see it?
I don't see it.
No, I'm not seeing it. You're so good at this. You're so good at this.
I know, this is why when I don't have to produce and click buttons anymore and Tanner's around, it just helps me out. All right, should be able to see it coming up.
Yep, it's up now.
All right, here we go. You can only pick 3 Bruce Willis movies. You got Die Hard, The Whole 9 Yards, Unbreakable, Looper, Armageddon, Mercury Rising, 12 Monkeys, Pulp Fiction, The Last Boy Scout, The Sixth Sense, Red, and Die Hard with a Vengeance. Let's make it tough. You can only pick 2.
2?
2.
All right, yeah. I'm taking Die Hard and Pulp Fiction without question. Without question. Why? Well, first of all, Die Hard is the perfect action Christmas movie. The late, great Alan Rickman's in there, ladies and gentlemen, and Alexander wept for there no more words to conquer. And he has this great relationship with the dad from Family Matters down there, and he's talking on the radio the whole time. Yep. The movie's got everything. It's got heart, it's got action, and it's this action Christmas movie, right? It's amazing. That's why it's my number 1. Pulp Fiction's number 2. I loved his character in that. I love the moral dilemma of going back into the pawn store and saving Ving Rhames, even though he could have just walked out. Like, the guy that's been trying to kill him, and he went back there. And I thought that was a terrific edge to his character. That's what I think. So those are my 2.
Scott, what's your 2 here?
I agree with Sam. It's Die Hard and Pulp Fiction.
Well,
but I will put a caveat on this. My growing up, Moonlighting was a show I watched every week, which is him and Sybil Shepherd. So Die Hard and Pulp Fiction for me, Moonlighting would be a close third. And that was a TV show, not a movie. So
that's not even on the list, Scott.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm going off like Sam went off all night. So
hey, I'm sending you some tapioca pudding right now. Okay, make everything
I will. I do love both of those, and I 100% agree with both of those. To be different, I'm gonna say The Last Boy Scout.
Good movie.
I love that movie. I'm very underrated. It's almost the same. It could have been like Die Hard 2 because he plays the same type of character. I do like that one. And I am going to say, give me Armageddon. I just enjoy that too. It's a guilty pleasure movie.
Nothing like oil derrick workers going to save the world.
Yes, to save the universe.
Michael Bay's like, I don't care how you write it in, just get him on that asteroid.
So I have never missed a mark, Harry Stamper. So give me Harry Stamper and the boys in Armageddon, and give me Joe Hallenbeck in The Last Boy Scout as he takes down a crooked sports owner and senator.
Yeah, and it's a great your mama joke in that movie too. Fantastic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, your mama's so fat I had to roll in flour just to find the wet spot.
Yeah. He had him, man.
Yeah. Great movie. That's Damon Wayans is in that movie. Or is that Keaton Ivory Wayans? One of the Wayans brothers is in it. It's a great movie. So Kale says Pulp Fiction, Die Hard, and Armageddon's what he's picking.
But he always said 2. He broke the rules. He's out.
Yeah, he's
I
out.
did.
Yeah, he's
Well,
out.
on the computer, it does say you can only keep 3. So Johnny says
Oh.
Die Hard in the whole 9 yards. So
He's acted in some movies that are underrated.
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
He's a really good actor in my mind. So
yeah.
definitely. Sam, what you got coming on the rest of the week?
I'm preparing for our big show premiere. Preparing for more abuse from you and some light agreeing from Scott Cobbett. Just says I agree with Sam over and over again. I'm going to get that.
I don't think we should keep a tally on how many times that probably happens because it's probably not going to happen very often.
Precious few, but I'm preparing for that. I am redoing my power rankings, obviously, and this is my last 3-day weekend before work really starts to get crazy. So gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna have a couple more of some old fashions and call it a night.
Scott, what about you? What you got going on the rest of the week?
Tomorrow at noontime, I will be on with Dan Harris.
Oh.
We're pre-recording his show tomorrow, so I will be on with him at noontime.
Must have missed my invite. Okay.
Yeah, you did. You did. He said I was the fill-in for you. So,
gee whiz.
I think in the hoop with JG and Tanner of the Sports Buffoons is going to happen this weekend, and then the show Monday night. The new show Monday night, and then
what show is it?
Baseball. Let's Talk Sports, the new show, and then the baseball show on Tuesday. I will mention this. There's two off Let's Talk Sports that I've done. One I was on the RotoWire channel with a gentleman named Jim Coventry talking about fantasy. We did a draft together, and then I'll be on a podcast called The Auction Brief with Drew Davenport. I was in his auction league. I won the championship in the auction league, so he's going to have me on.
You cheated.
Talk about that.
You cheated.
No, I'm telling you, I'm trying to get Dan to switch our draft to an auction draft instead of a regular.
I don't want to do that. No, I don't like to do that. No.
So. But that's what's going on with me, and I'm looking forward to the new show on Monday night. It should be really good. So
yeah, I believe there might be a roundtable this weekend. Not too sure. I don't know. That's a Dan Harris call. I will be back probably Sunday morning. I gotta get a guest. I have to work Sunday night, so there won't be a Sunday night show of the Bodkin Show. Maybe, dear God, no. I can only handle you once.
You're about to handle me like what, 3 times a week?
Sunday morning show.
Johnny Cruz will be the guest.
Yeah, look for a new show, the Bodkin Show. I gotta try to book a guest. We'll be working on that for Sunday morning, hopefully. And if not, I will be on the very beginning of the 8:00 show Monday night. I think I will host. I will come on and say a few kind words. And then I will have to dip out. My daughter has softball on our premiere show. So
Dad of the year.
Got to dad first until they start paying me for this shit.
That's right.
After that, then, I think I can put some excuses to the side. So, but other than that, I will be on the 8:00 show premiere. Again, that'll happen right here on the Let's Talk Sports Network, the Bodkin Show. You can catch it all here as well. That'll happen 8:00 Central. We'll be doing 3 shows, 8 Central, and then Thursday night. This is kind of the last episode of the Bodkin Show on Thursday night, folks, because we're going to be bringing this program. It'll be very similar to what we have tonight to Thursday night's LTS show. Then we'll do a Sunday morning LTS show as well. So we will have those. We'll have a lot of guests, a lot of the same type of format. We'll be talking a lot of different sports. Sam's going to learn about a lot of different things. We're going to make fun of a lot of different stupid things that he says because he pretends he knows sports, but as we dig deeper, we realize he knows nothing.
I'm what you call shallow.
So we will see you guys then. You guys know what to do. Be a friend, tell a friend. Thank you, everybody, for putting stuff in the comments. It's been a pleasure. We'll catch you then Monday night, folks, 8:00 Central. Let's Talk Sports Show. Dan Harris, we appreciate you as always. Get better, my friend. We'll catch you then. I won't have to hit all the buttons anymore. Tanner will be producing everything. It'll be great. I can just spew dumb things into a microphone, which is a little bit smarter than what Sam is. So which isn't hard.
Not much though. Not much.
So, be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. I'm gonna hit that outro. See y'all.